Hello students, welcome to the series on advertising. Today we are going to study the ethical aspects of advertising in India. Now let's study the objective of this lecture. In this lecture we are going to study the concept of ethics and the various aspects of ethical advertising. Now first let's study the concept of ethics. Ethics define the guidelines for good behavior. It is a science of deciding what is right and what is wrong. In advertising, companies want to grab attention of customers by entertaining, persuading and informing them. They need to be ethical to build positive impact on the society. Now, ethical advertising is the need of the moment as social capital and community welfare are also the objectives where the investment of funds have to be channelized to create a positive environment, where even it is mandatory, it is compulsory according to legal regulations also, and it is a social concept also to be fair to the customers. Advertising and cultural identity. Advertising is a form of threat to self-realization and cultural identity of developing countries. People may become alien to ethical values. It may deviate consumer demands in the developing countries to areas which might inhibit development priorities. Now, because advertising is becoming more glamorous, more consumer oriented, so most of the customers are becoming alien to their values of being religious or to being socially connected to each other. They are also only moving towards material aspects of gaining status through brands and products. Our priorities are different, where development related to infrastructure to conservation is important, but we are deviating and we are promoting more materialism in the society. Unethical issues in advertising. Advertising is considered unethical in the following scenarios. It degrades the rival's product or a substitute product. It gives misguiding information and false information. It conceals information that vitally affects human life. Example, side effects of drugs. Now, advertising can be unethical when it is not giving you full information. It is only promoting the use of products, but not giving you the impact, what will be the reaction of products in the long run. Maybe there are many pharmaceutical products or over the counter drugs sold in name of just giving you relief from cold, cough, ordinary ailments. But how do they impact the bodies? The research and the information is not there. It is giving you false information about making your body slim or fair or beautiful. Sometimes these products can harm your body also. Immorality in advertising. Ads make exaggerated claims about products and services. Sometimes ads are obscene or immoral or against broad national interest. Sometimes the ads can be funny, that is they only are popularizing the product, but sometimes they are against the national interest or they are against some kind of religion or some kinds of values. So, this can hurt the sentiments of the society and of the country. Now, let us study the increased cost burden on society. Advertising is adding price of the products to be increased. It is untruthful, it tricks people and targets vulnerable people. Now, when you advertise, it is just not free. So, the cost of the advertising is added to the price of the product, which is the product becomes costly. Sometimes these statements are not truthful, and it is also targeting the vulnerable section of the society, like if people are not educated and if they trust you and they believe you, sometimes the products can harm them also. Advocacy, accuracy, acquisitiveness in advertising. What is advocacy? Advertising tries to persuade the audience to do something that is not correct. Accuracy, subtle messages trouble critics. especially when aimed at groups such as children, elderly or disabled. Acquisitiveness, consumers are continually persuaded to need more and more new products. Now, advocacy is that you are always promoting that something is correct, which may or may not be true. So, you need to believe that this institution of education is giving you quality education, and when you take admission is according to your reality, the quality of education is not as per advertisements. Accuracy is sometimes when you try to give messages which are targeted to children or to disabled people, it is very difficult for customers and for critics to control and to not to use that tool, because that is a very sensitive segment of the society which needs to be in their own group of being connected, where they are playing and they are dancing together. But now even children have become fashion conscious. They also want to use their bottles and their bags of certain brands which has become a statement, and it is harassing students in schools where comparative status of using the brands is putting pressure on a very young crowd who are not earning. So, every time they have to ask for money from the parents, if they are not, parents are not able to understand their children, it may cause a mental pressure which can be very fatal for any society. So, it is very important that when you design products for kids, we need to relate to the price, and we also need to understand that we have to give them what is fair, that is, it has to enhance with the values of knowledge and not with the values of consumerism and show off. Acquisitiveness is consumers are constantly needing more, that you are updating mobiles, you are giving new versions. So, the customers are forced to buy products every year, which is enhance putting a pressure on the burden on their budgets. This money which could not be used in mobiles could go into investments, could go into equity fundings, and could make the country more financially sound and could make the economy more developing, and it could give better infrastructure to the country rather investing every year on mobiles just for updated versions. So, when the customers are forced this way, it is very unethical. False promises in advertising. The slimming centers promise miraculous weight reduction. The cosmetic surgery clinics assure permanent solution to all beauty problems. Example, VLCC Slimming Center. Now, this industry is very sensitive in terms where cosmetics just show you that if you are using a product for 7 days, you can change the color of the skin. It is just a bleaching action. Originally, we cannot change the pigmentation of the skin. So, to sensitize this segment and to change the looks of the customers within 6 or 7 days is a kind of false promise, and you are targeting the customers who, if are problems, would definitely believe you and would buy you. So, this is unethically bad for companies to promote things which give you miraculous results, that is, you lose weight by harming your body, or you just try to do a surgery where the long term negative impacts are not given to the customers, and solutions to all their ailments are just promoted through advertisements. Now, let us study the fatal effects on society. Advertising through media is promoting tobacco chewing gum ads, alcoholic beverages that tempt the non-alcoholics to have a sip, and gambling. Now, these are negative activities which should not be promoted through advertisement. If the products are being sold for a certain segment of society who enjoy gambling or alcohol, it is their concern. But promoting and flamboying these products for status can convert the people who are morally very committed to their own lives of religion, can move them. So, this negativity should not be promoted. These kinds of activities should be banned on public media. Value formation through advertising. Many advertisements display scantily clad female models to commoditize women. They try to increase one's propensity of consumption for goods in order to show that one belongs to a higher status group. Now, many advertisements are using women as an object of flamboyance, where models are shown with less clothes. This has changed the perception of the society towards female and has changed the values towards what we design in form of giving respect to women as a mother and as a caretaker. We have been attracted to women as models. So, advertising totally focusing on flamboyance is wrong. And if we try to just promote the products, that if we use these products, it is a luxury product and a status product, can put pressure on people to, to reach to that segment and the status of the society. Now, media content in advertising. This refers to the information content of the advertisements. These advertisements which suggest usage of preserved food items without even slightest mention of the fact that many of the preservatives used have been proved to have carcinogenic effects. They are the part of this category, and this carcinogenic effect is like it can impact cancer in the body. So, there are many food products which are using preservatives. We are promoting these products as healthy, and we are promoting these products which can solve the problems of the housewives to give you ready food instantly. And it is also solving the problems of the people who are traveling and in hostels to eat easily. But we are not giving information that the preservatives which are used in these products can be cancerous to your body. So, the information of the research or the negative impacts are not written, they are not shown. This can impact the health quotient of the society. Now, let us study use of deception. The advertisements of brands which conceal their negative aspects are included in this category. Advertisements of cosmetics say nothing at all about the long term effects of using their products on regular basis. Advertisements of various educational institutes wrongly claim to provide 100% placement to their students. So, we are generally giving false statements about our products, where we are not informing customers about everything, that what can happen if they can use the products for long term, and what happens to the students if they come to the institutes. They are paying heavy fees, they are investing their times, what kind of jobs and what kind of failures to their lives can happen. This is never said and written in brochures. Ads for reputed companies almost never lie. They just do not disclose the whole truth up in the front. Agencies have to prove what they say to their own corporate counsels, lawyers, approval committees and regulating bodies like FDA and FTC. Companies that get caught lying or cheating have to pay substantial fines. So, there are rules and regulations that if you speak lie, you have to pay fines, but most of the companies are saying nothing about it, that you are not speaking lies, but you are not even disclosing. So, they are silent about many issues which can put them in bad light, or which can generally design the products in a wrong way. So, nothing is said about it. They only prove the facts about the product decoration and about the product use to the lawyers, that it is important for society, good for society, and are silent beyond that. Pharmaceutical advertising. Advertisements for the use of over the counter drugs can increase addictions in people. Drugs advertised are not the cheapest, that is, it is not the generic version. FDA requires companies to reveal any possible side effects. Weight loss drugs can harm the body of individuals. So, many drugs which are advertised can be addictive, and this addiction can put a body in pressure, and generally when body gets addicted, you cannot work without these drugs. Now, let us study the summary of this lecture. In this lecture, we have studied the various types of advertising agencies. The advertising agencies range from full length services to limited services agencies to creative boutiques to la carte agencies and specialized agencies. These agencies work with their own specialization and give a variety of services to the advertisers, to the clients and to the media. The media hires advertising agencies to sell their slots in the spaces, because the scheduling and the planning of the ads is done by media agencies, and the basic aspects of designing the ads is done by the creative boutiques.